Hello and welcome to English Practice for Level 1 students. My name is Teacher Julie and I'm happy you're here for more practice. Today, our lesson is called Weather in Canada. Weather in Canada. Okay. So, let's take a look, shall we? The weather. When we talk about weather, we talk about the changes each day. So, yesterday was cloudy. The day before that was sunny and windy. Every day the weather changes. So just to help us remember the different kinds of weather that we see around the world are sunny. Sunny. Today it is not very sunny. Cloudy. Today there are a lot of clouds with a little sun. Partly sunny. Partly sunny. Partly sunny means so-so. There's some sun and there's some clouds. Partly sunny. Rainy. Rainy. Last week it was really rainy. Snowy. We have many snowy days in the winter. Snowy. Stormy. 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 Stormy is rain, wind, thunder, boom, boom, and lightning. We've had some good stormy weather this summer in Edmonton. Partly cloudy. Partly cloudy is a little cloud and maybe a little sun or a little moon. Partly cloudy. Lightning. 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 I can see lightning in the clouds when there is a storm. Lightning. Lightning. Windy. Windy. Today it is windy. Windy. Hail. Hail. Okay. There was a storm last week and there was a little hail. Hail. But today there is no hail. Clear. Clear. Clear is no clouds. No clouds. It's clear. Clear. And our last one is foggy. Foggy. Foggy is I cannot see. Gray. Foggy. Foggy. So I know for my students, we have learned weather words before in February and in March. This is to help us remember our weather words. And we want to remember that weather, well, weather changes from day to day. The weather changes from day to day. Oh, I have a little pen and I don't know how to make it stop. Here we go. Climate. Climate is different than weather. Climate is a bigger word. Okay? I can look at this map. I can look at the map and see the different colors on the different countries. So white is cold, cold. I see white in the country of Greenland, Canada, and Russia and Siberia. Very cold. It's also very cold down in Antarctica. Antarctica is also very cold. Okay? I see yellow in Australia. Australia, very hot, very hot. Okay? There's very hot regions in Africa. And red is hot. I think yellow is very hot and red is hot. There's some pink in the world. These are climates where it's in between. It's not very hot and it's not very cold. It's so-so. And Edmonton is located in light blue. Edmonton, Alberta, much of Canada is light blue. It's cool. Okay? It can get very cold in the winter. And our summers are not very hot. So climate is a little more than weather. Let's take a look here. Climate, I have the definition. Oh, before we move on, just how do we say climate? How do we say climate? I, long I, cly, it. Our A turns into our sound. Remember, is if someone punches you here. You go, climate, climate. And we do not say the E. Climate, climate, climate. Climate is the weather that is usual for a country or region. So if weather tells us what happens on one day, climate tells us what happens over many months. It's the usual weather for many months. In Canada, in the country, the climate over the summer is probably pretty mild. It's cool and warm. Sometimes it's very, very hot. Okay? But if we look more closely at the region of Arctic, the Arctic region, it's more north. It's cool and cold. Cool and cold. Sometimes in the South Arctic, they do have some pretty warm days in the summer. But over 1 year, the climate is cool to very, very cold. So weather is for 1 day. Climate is for many months. It's the weather over many months. Climate is the weather that is usual for a country or region. Usual. So let's look at our new words. Climate is a new word. It's the weather that is usual for a region. Okay? Climate. Another new word, usual. Usual. Going to talk about that on the next slide. Region. Region. Region is a smaller part of a country. So if we could, so here we have the Arctic, okay, and here we have all of Canada. The Arctic is a small part of Canada. A region is a smaller part of a country. So I can see here my adverb of frequency, my adverb of frequency. Okay? An adverb tells me how often. How often? Do I do this every day? Does it happen every day? Or maybe one day a month or never? So let's look at them. If something happens 100% of the time, it always happens. She always brushes her teeth in the morning. Every day in the morning, she brushes her teeth. When something happens 90% of the time, we say usually. Usually. They usually get up at 7 a.m. Okay? Maybe on Saturdays, they sleep longer. Maybe Saturdays, they get up at 9 a.m. But usually, they get up at 7 a.m. We have 80%. We say normally. I normally study English every day, but maybe Saturdays you do not study. Maybe Sundays you do not study. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you study. So I normally study English every day. Often, often, often. They often watch TV after supper. They often watch TV after supper. Most days they will watch TV after supper, but maybe 2 Wednesdays each month they do not watch TV. They go to the supermarket after supper. So maybe 2 nights in 1 month they do not watch TV. They go to the supermarket. They often watch TV. Okay? 50%. This is our so-so. Sometimes. I sometimes drink coffee. I sometimes drink tea. I sometimes drink coffee. I sometimes drink tea. Occasionally is about 30% of the time. Occasionally. I occasionally eat chips and chocolate. I occasionally eat chips and chocolate. I do not eat chips and chocolate every day. I don't eat chips and chocolate every week. Maybe one day each month. I eat some chips and chocolate. Seldom, only 10%. I seldom eat chips and chocolate. Rarely, 5%. I rarely speak English at home. Maybe that should say you rarely speak English at home. I always speak English at home. I don't know another language. You rarely speak English at home. And 0 is never. I never go to Iqaluit. I never go to Iqaluit. I have no friends in Iqaluit. I have no family in Iqaluit. Iqaluit is far away. I never go to Iqaluit. So these are called adverbs of frequency, and we will practice them next week and the week after. We will continue to practice them. Today, I want you to see the adverbs of frequency. Think about them a little. We will talk about them more tomorrow. Okay? But we can use adverbs of frequency when we talk about climate. Canada is always cooler than South America. Canada is always cooler than South America. The Arctic region is usually cooler than southern Canada. The Arctic region is north and it is usually cooler than southern Canada. Canada is normally cooler than the United States. Canada is normally cooler than the United States. But sometimes in the summer, Canada is a little warmer than the United States. Not very often. It's normally cooler. Climate has two parts. Okay? Climate means temperature and precipitation. Temperature is how warm is it today? What's the temperature today? Oh, today is about 21 degrees. I'm going to check my phone. Okay, I'm going to check my phone for the weather, or the temperature right now. My phone says it's cloudy and 18 degrees Celsius. The temperature now is 18 degrees Celsius. But remember, climate is about weather for a few months. So what is the temperature? What is the climate in Canada for the summer months? Well, the temperatures are, I would say, warm. Some days are hot, but the temperature in Canada in the summer is usually warm, about 20 degrees to 24 degrees Celsius. The second part of climate is precipitation. Precipitation. Precipitation means how much rain, how much snow. Okay. Let's talk about these two words. Temperature. Temperature maybe is a new word for you. Temperature. Temperature. It has 4 syllables. Temperature. Temperature. 4 syllables. The thing is, when we speak quickly like this, I want to tell you temperature today, temperature, I go short to 3 syllables. Temperature, temperature. The temperature now is 18 degrees Celsius. The temperature now, temperature now is 18 degrees Celsius. Okay? But let's take a look at the word temperature. I have my T sound. I have a short E, F, F, T, F. I have an M and a P. T, M, P. And I have my sound, and R together. Say, T, M, P, a short A, sure. T-U-R-E says always chur. But when I speak quickly, the word shortens to 3 syllables. Temperature, temperature, temperature. Okay. In Canada, we talk about temperature using degrees Celsius. Degrees Celsius. We use the metric scale. Many countries do. Degrees Celsius. For example, it is 20 degrees Celsius. Okay. So I'm going to look at these thermometers and going to look at the temperatures. I read very cold. It is, check that out, minus 40 degrees Celsius. That is very cold. When it is minus 32 degrees Celsius, we close the school. There is no school. It's too cold. Okay? Minus 40 degrees Celsius is very cold. And then I have cold. Maybe cold is minus 5 to minus 20, minus 5 to minus 20 degrees Celsius. That's cold. If you come from a hot country, minus 5 to minus 20 degrees Celsius feels very cold. Not, it can be colder, minus 40, but it's cold. If I look here, maybe from minus 5 to 10 degrees, I say that's cool. Minus 5 degrees to minus, plus 10 degrees Celsius. That's cool. Okay, oops, it's cool. It's cool. So far I have very cold, cold, and cool. And then there's warm. There's warm. Warm is about 10 degrees to 20 degrees. 10 to 20. 10 to 20 degrees Celsius is warm. And hot, anything over 20 is hot. And some of you come from countries that are very, very hot. I think I miss hot. What's happening? Let's just move this one up, okay? And hot can be here, like 20 to 30 is hot. Very hot is 30 to 50 degrees Celsius. Some of your countries are very, very hot. Woo-hoo. How do we say degrees Celsius? This is to help you remember. Degrees Celsius. Degrees Celsius. The E is our sound, degrees. The second E is long E. When I see two E's, double E, it always says E. E double E always says E. There's the word always. 100% of the time, if you see two E's, it is a long E. It says E. Degrees. Here our S says Z. Remember that S can say or Z. Because of the long E, we will say Z. Degrees. Too difficult to say degrees. Easy to say Z. Degrees. Celsius. 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 Now the letter C can say K or S. And here it says F. S. Short E, F, F, O, O. The C also says F. This I is a long E sound. Celsius, is, Celsius, Celsius. See? Listen to me speak. 20 degrees Celsius, that's warm. Minus 10 degrees Celsius, it's cold. Plus 45 degrees Celsius, very hot. Degrees Celsius is how we talk about the temperatures. So, part one of climate is temperature. The second part is precipitation. 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 I have long E. Pre. That's my first syllable. Precipitation. It's a long word. Precipitation. Long E. Our C sounds like S. Short I. If. Precip. If. Shun. Tion always says shun. You can think about a different word. This word, let me try to spell it. Education. Education is to learn. But I have the same Tion at the end of the word. Education. I hear it again. Precipitation. Precipitation is the water that comes down from the clouds. Precipitation. Let's take another look at precipitation. Precipitation is the water that comes down from the clouds. Evaporation is the water that goes up. So precipitation comes down, evaporation goes up. And we can see in the picture here, evaporation is water. It's really water that goes up to the clouds. Okay? The clouds can hold so much water, and then when it's too much, the water comes down back to the land. So this is called precipitation. Precipitation comes from the clouds. Precipitation is down. Evaporation is up. Precipitation is snow, rain, or hail. Rain. This is rain. Snow. This is snow. And hail. This is hail. Hail is frozen rain. It's hard. It happens in the summer, usually in the summer. So these are 3 kinds of precipitation. When evaporation is high and the temperature is warm or hot, the climate is humid. So the Toronto region, you can see here the city of Toronto, right? Here's Toronto, okay? And the whole region of Toronto is quite humid in the summer. There's a lot of lakes, okay? Here's a lake, here is a lake, and here is a big lake. And so much water evaporates. And this water is actually in the air. You can feel it. When it's hot and humid, the temperature feels hotter. So let's read together. The Toronto region is very hot in the summer. There is a lot of evaporation. Evaporation, water up. There is a lot of moisture in the air. Moisture is a new word. Moisture is water in the air. We say the weather is humid. Humid. Humid is a lot of water in the air. Let's take a closer look. Okay. Air is what we breathe. In, out, in, out. And in the air are very small drops of water. These drops of water are called moisture. Moisture. So we breathe air in, and we breathe air out. This is the air. I cannot see air, but when it's windy, I feel the air. I can feel it on my face. Yes, I feel it. Trees and plants grow very well in a humid climate. There are parts of Canada that are humid. The Toronto region is humid. There's a lot of trees and plants. Humid. Ontario and British Columbia have many trees and plants in their humid region. So there are parts of Ontario and parts of British Columbia that are humid. British Columbia has forests near the ocean. Okay? These forests have many trees and plants. The weather is cooler than Toronto, but very humid. It's humid because the forest is next to the ocean. Many regions in Canada are not humid. They are dry. There is little evaporation. There is little moisture in the air. So humid means a lot of moisture. Dry is a little moisture. Edmonton is very dry, especially in the winter. Edmonton is very, very dry. In Edmonton, in the winter, when you breathe in, oh, ow, it hurts your nose. That's because there is no humidity in the air in Edmonton. So these pictures are southern British Columbia, and the bottom picture is southeastern Alberta. Very dry in these regions. There's not a lot of water and moisture. Temperatures that are between -5 degrees Celsius and +20 degrees Celsius are mild temperatures. They're mild. Mild means not hot, not cold, and not too humid. Not hot, not cold, not too humid. This is mild. -5 to +20, mild. Victoria and Vancouver in British Columbia have mild winters and summers. They are not too cold. They are not too hot. Victoria is rarely colder than 0 degrees Celsius, even in the winter. Let's read again. Victoria and Vancouver in British Columbia have mild winters and summers. They are not too cold or, teacher is not reading. Let's try again. Where did my pen go? Went away. Let's get it back. They are not too hot or too cold. Victoria is rarely, almost never, colder than 0 degrees Celsius. Because Victoria is on the Pacific Ocean, it does not get cold. The temperatures stay mild. Let's practice some words. Okay? You read the words, look at the pictures. Which word goes with which picture? First word is mild. 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 There's humidity. The temperature is not too hot. The trees grow well. The second word is dry. Dry. There's not a lot of rain, not a lot of water, no moisture. It's dry. Mild and dry. Two more words. Country, region. Country, region. This is a country, and this is a region. A region is a small part of a country. Hot, warm. Hot, warm. This temperature is hot. Plus 40 degrees Celsius is hot. Plus 20 degrees Celsius is warm. Cold and cool. Cold and cool. Minus 40 degrees Celsius is cold. It's very cold. Plus 6 degrees Celsius is cool. Cool. Actually, that's not plus 6. I'm reading it wrong. It's about plus 3. Plus 3 degrees Celsius is cool. It's cool. Humid air, dry air. Humid and dry. Humid air has a lot of moisture. Remember, moisture is water, very small water drops. Dry air has only a little moisture. Our two big words, evaporation, precipitation. Evaporation, when the water goes up into the air, into the clouds. Precipitation is when the water comes down. Sometimes it looks like snow, and sometimes it looks like rain. Climate, weather. Climate is the weather over many months. Its climate is what the weather usually is like in a country. Weather, we look on our phones every day to see the weather for the day. Climate, weather, weather. And please remember, my friends, this teacher's favorite sound, you know it. Weather, weather. TH, your tongue is between your teeth. Weather, weather. Don't worry. Practice English and your tongue will come back in. Weather, 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 the weather. Oh, easy for you. Rain, snow, and hail are our three last words, I do believe. Rain, snow, and hail. Yes, that is the end of our lesson. This is a long lesson. Teacher was speaking a lot. I am using words you do know. So if you were listening and you go, I don't understand, I want you to listen again. Listen to the video again. Okay? Also stop the video and write the new words 5 times each. Write each new word 5 times, okay, in your notebook. Take a picture and put it on WhatsApp so I can see your practice. But today your homework is mostly listening to teacher to understand the English, okay? I think you can understand. Again, listen again, maybe 2 times, 3 times for practice. Okay, this was a good lesson on weather in Canada, and I'll see you next time for more English practice. Bye-bye, my friends.